So I'm James McDonald. We're farming 10 kilometres north of Condobolin. We're managing about 5,000 hectares. Of that, there's around 3,500 hectares of pasture, which are loose and dominant. So the last two to 3 years, we've been running a resilient pastures project. We've been looking at 4 different pasture types. We've been trying to work out what would be the most persistent and what best suits our region for productivity.
So the 4 pasture species mixes that we have on site, we have in our first demonstration paddock, we have a 60 hectares of temperate pasture, and that includes varieties such as tall Flecker fescue. We have Upland's Cocksfoot. We also have some cheetah medic, and we also have Isma subclover. Within that species, we also have some Aurora lucerne, which is quite a known lucerne variety for this particular region. So in our second demonstration paddock, we have a mix of L70 lucerne and Casbah bicerula as a hard-seeded legume type pasture mix and demonstration, really looking to understand how those two species can complement each other. Our third demonstration paddock was made up of Premier Digit, so a subtropical base of a pasture mix that was paired and matched with also some L70 lucerne, again to provide that nitrogen and nutrition fix that we find the subtropicals need. Our final and our control pasture demonstration paddock that we had at this site was based more on our traditional pastures that we use in terms of improved pastures for this region, and that has included a mix of L70 lucerne. We've also got again some Isma subclover, and then also some cheetah, some medic as well in that traditional improved pasture base as our 4th demonstration paddock. So from this trial data analysed to date, we're still analysing other components, but we're really encouraged to see that there is not one front runner of each of these pasture species and mixes that has outshone each of the others. We really see that each pasture mix is bringing its own ability and strength in terms of into our systems. So for instance, we have our lucerne and digit that on a biomass level, from that particular data, it produced 56 tonnes to the hectare of biomass prior to being grazed. In that 6-week period of grazing, just due to ideal soil moisture and receipt of 4 inches of rain, we saw that that particular pasture had the ability to produce 5 times that amount of biomass, even whilst being grazed. Now, whilst that particular pasture has been a front runner in terms of biomass production, we have seen in terms of some of the other results, it hasn't been a strong performer in terms of its nutritional quality attributes that it has brought into an enterprise. Whereas our traditional pasture systems, our control, our subclover, lucerne and medic mix, for instance, has really been a strong performer in the nutrition space of the analysis and the data being recorded. So again, it highlights that between those two examples, we really see the ability of these pastures to be ideally matched to different classes of livestock to really maximise the performance. When we think about our lucerne and bicerula pasture mix, whilst it hasn't been a strong performer in overall biomass production, for example, it has certainly been a great performer in terms of volume of plant height and also ground cover. So each one of these pasture species is really bringing its own strengths to a different enterprise, and that's where we really find the opportunities and the excitement to be able to appropriately match each of the different varieties to each of the enterprise goals that producers are really looking to achieve within their business.